Hi guys, welcome to another TBR video. I'm so excited. This has been such a fun way to pick out my TBR. I will say, actually, elephant in the room, if you didn't see, I posted on Instagram actually. I did dye my hair. I now have kind of like a coppery color going on. You guys haven't seen it yet and this is a surprise to you guys. I did dye my hair, so I hope you guys like it too. I'm obsessed with it. The TBR from last month that we did, I think I read like 2 or 3 books off of it. I didn't get to everything. Honestly, these TBR videos, they're fun to film, they're fun to go through, they're fun to get some books that I physically have or ones I want to read and have you guys kind of interactive and help pick them out for me. But the TBR that we choose together or you guys choose for me are kind of just books that I have on my radar for the month and the ones that I can kind of go through and choose throughout the month, try to put them into videos and see if I get to them. It's not like a set TBR, like I have to read those books. So you'll see in my wrap up in a few days, I didn't get to all of them. I got to a few. Some more exciting than others. The ones I think you guys were excited for me to read, or a couple of the ones you guys were excited for me to read, I did end up reading. You guys will see. I think I posted like 5 or 6 stories. I don't have as many this month for you guys to choose from. I'm gonna pick like 6 or 7. I don't know. We'll see as it goes. That's how many books we'll choose for the TBR, and we'll see what you guys picked. I'll go through the emojis that I put on the stories and what they mean with the books, because there was one that was a little bit iffy and people were questioning like, what is this book? And you guys will obviously find out now, and we're gonna go through them, see which ones won. I'm really excited. This TBR is like a good mix of things, and a lot of books on here are ones that I've been really wanting to get to, so we will see obviously which ones win. Before we get into it, I do have a really exciting sponsor for today's video, so thank you Waterdrop for sponsoring today's video. I've been obsessed with this for so long. One, just because of the water bottle that this thing comes in, like this is so cute, just like a sleek little water bottle. It's also metal. It's just perfect. If you haven't heard of Waterdrop, their mission is basically just to encourage people to drink more water. If you're like me and you don't get enough water intake, I'm so bad at drinking water. I kind of have to remember to drink water. It's very bad, but this and their company helps so much because they have flavored little tablets that you can add and drop into your water. There's different flavors. You guys can go through the website and see the ones that they have, but the 2 that I have that I've been drinking, this one is literally my favorite ever. Goji Berry Acerola, and this one is so good. It's 0 sugar. They're kind of like a healthier option, and if you want a flavored water to help you drink more water. And then this one is Mango Cactus Fruit and Artichoke, and they are just so good, and it's so easy. You drop them into a little water bottle filled with ice cold water, it dissolves, and you just have a flavored water. And I've been drinking this for a few days, and it is so delicious. It's just so, it's like a subtle flavoring to the water, and it's so good. So if you guys are interested, I do have a code for you guys to use if you want to try it out, try some fun flavors, and help yourself drink more water. The code is SarahWD for 15% off. The link and everything will be in the description if you guys want to check it out. If you want to try this water, it is just so fun, and it makes me get more water into my body because it's something that you really need. And I love that their mission is just to encourage it, not kind of force you to drink more water, but they're encouraging just the healthy little lifestyle of getting more water in your body, which is something that I just need so bad. The water bottle definitely helps, just a cute little water bottle, but they have just such fun flavors. It takes like no time. Their thing is all about like sustainability, and they are very eco-friendly. So I love this company. Again, if you guys are interested, the code is in the description and so is the link. Highly recommend. And thank you Waterdrop for sponsoring today's video. So I have not looked at any of the results from the stories that I posted. I have no idea what's won. I haven't even checked up on it like since I posted it, and it's been a few days now. I have them all sitting right next to me right here. I chose some that are on my physical TBR. I like to go through my bookshelves and see what books I want to read throughout the month, like on my physical TBR, but I have a couple that I have downloaded on my Kindle or ones that are on my radar that I don't have yet. And I know that there's a few new releases this month that I'm really excited for, and those are like not included on this. These are just books that like I kind of want to read and I want your guys' input for me to read, but there's some books like A Curse for True Love that's coming out this month that I know 100% I'm reading, so that's not in this video. I'm like 100% reading the new releases that I'm so excited for. These are just like some fun books that I really would like to get to, and I wanted your guys' help obviously to pick them out for me. So let's go to the stories. I'm so excited. So the first one we have, the left emojis are a little red emoji and then a sunrise, and on the right we have a superhero and kind of like a bomb boom emoji. The one on the left was Red Rising. This one I feel like I got the emojis pretty perfectly. It's a red emoji and a sunrise, kind of putting those together. I think I got this one pretty well. And the one on the right is Supernova by Marissa Meyer. This is part of the Renegade series. It's the last one in the trilogy, and I finished the second one in this previous month that just happened, right? Or was it the month before? No, I did just read this. This is the last one. It will complete the trilogy for me. I'm really excited to see how the story just completes itself. There's so many unanswered questions. The percentages that we got, the one on the left got 62% and the one on the right got 38%. That makes Red Rising by Pierce Brown our winner for our first book on the TBR. This one's a sci-fi, and I'm pretty sure it's like high sci-fi. Like this is like a real deal sci-fi book, and I have not read one like that. I know Haley thinks highly of the series. I know Destiny's read this, so I feel like I need to get into this. I need to just try out a book like this. I want to see my taste on it, and I feel like I haven't read any like higher sci-fi type of books like that. I know that the summary is kind of interesting. There's kind of this like different castes in like the society, and I'm pretty sure the main character is part of like the lower one, and they're trying to create life on a different planet or something, and he has to go to like the higher caste society and like I don't really know. That summary didn't really make too much sense. I'm excited to maybe hopefully get to this. I think this will be a very interesting read to see if I like books like this, because I haven't obviously again been in a genre like this. So first book on our TBR, Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Honestly, I know that Supernova didn't win, but I kind of want to get to this. I don't know if I will, but I really want to complete this series. There's so many unanswered questions. I just need to know how this ends. First book, not Supernova. Red Rising by Pierce Brown. So the next one is the one that people are a little bit confused on the emojis, not the one on the left. The one on the left was an eagle and a little tree slash bush, and then the one on the right was a knife and a penguin emoji. Now everyone was like, killer penguin? Like, what is this book? What penguin is a murderer? And I was just, well, I'll explain it. But the one on the left with the bird and the tree is Flock by Kate Stewart. I've been wanting to read this for so long. I've heard so many mixed reviews on this. I don't know what it's about. I've read the summary. I have no idea. I feel like this is one of those books you just have to read to understand, and I've heard that you have to kind of like complete the trilogy and read all 3 books to kind of understand what's going on. It's intrigued me so much. So that's the one that was on the left, and then the one on the right I didn't have. I had to like draw my own little square. I have it downloaded on my Kindle. I read like 15 pages of it the other day, but I didn't know if I wanted to read it, so I included it onto this. The killer penguin is actually Butcher and Blackbird. I don't know the author's name, but I'll put a picture up. And I put the knife because of Butcher, and then Blackbird I put a penguin because when I searched on emojis like Blackbird, one of the only ones that came up was penguin, so I just put that one in, but it literally has nothing to do with penguins. It was so funny. Everyone was so confused why there's a penguin emoji, but it's Butcher and Blackbird. The 2 main characters are serial killers. This is a romance. I think it's kind of like a serial killer and a rom-com mixed together, which is very interesting. And I heard people say if you like the Mindfuck series, you'll like this one. I know there's a lot of trigger warning, so if you are interested in that, definitely check those out before you read it. But I was so intrigued by it. I loved the Mindfuck series, and I also just, I don't know, something about it was very interesting. I'm excited to read this one. I don't know if it won. I do want to read it anyway, just because I feel like it's a great book to read in October, just the vibes of it. But let's see which one won. This one was really close. On the left, which was Flock, got 49%, and the one on the right, which was Butcher and Blackbird, got 51%. So we were off by 2%. This was a really close one. I'm so excited to read this. I'm just so intrigued by it. I feel like it's taking such a dark topic, like 2 serial killers, and making it into like a rom-com book is just such an interesting mix. So I'm excited to read it. I've seen some people read this and they actually had great ratings for it and great reviews for it. So I'm excited about this one. I cannot add it to this list because I do not have it. I'm definitely gonna read it on my Kindle. It's Kindle Unlimited, but that is our second book. The next 2 that we have on the left is a sword and a rose, and then the one on the right is double swords and kind of like a skyline. So the one on the left is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I've heard great things about this. I actually put it on my TBR after seeing Rachel Catherine complete the series. I think there's like different books that are like interconnected within it, but you kind of have to start with this one to get to that one. And I'm pretty sure this is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but it takes place in like the 1920s in Shanghai. So that whole mix seems very interesting. I'm in such a fantasy mood, and I just feel like this, I'm kind of in the mood for this. I don't know. I really want to read it. I really want to read one of Chloe Gong's books because I've heard her writing is amazing, and I've heard people that have read this that they really enjoyed it. So this was the one that was on the left, and then the one on the right with the double sword and the skyline was Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. This one has been on my TBR, like my physical TBR, for a pretty long time now. I'm very intrigued by this series. I feel like it's so interesting. I put the double swords, or just a sword because she's holding a blade or whatever, and then the skyline because on the cover there's a skyline. I think this is like a series, but you don't have to read all of them. They're kind of like interconnected. You can like read the first one and finish there. But I'm pretty sure it just takes like Stalking Jack the Ripper like that and makes it into its, hold on. Oh! It says, he murdered women in cold blood. He terrorized an entire city. But despite all these horrors, in the end, I could not deny it. I was the girl who loved the Ripper. That's so interesting. I've been recommended this so many times. I've been looking at it so much. I feel like I need to get to this at least one day. It's been on my physical TBR for so long. So these were the 2 that were on the story. So let's see which one won. So on the left got 62% and the right got 38%. So that leaves us with These Violent Delights. It has a lot more percentage on this one. It won by a lot more. I'm excited. I really want to get into her stories and her books, and I want to read her writing, and I've been intrigued by this. I just bought it a few weeks ago and I've been staring at it. I've almost started it a few times, but I never actually did because I feel like, I don't know, not that I'm intimidated by it, but like, I don't know, but I'm excited that it's out on my TBR. This cover is also so beautiful. Our third book on the TBR. Our next 2, actually, you guys pretty much guessed, at least the one on the right, because I feel like the emoji, I did really well with this emoji. So no, not the one on the right, the one on the left. I feel like I did pretty good with the emoji because the one on the left is a little secret emoji, like the little, you know what I mean. And then the one on the right is a stone, a statue, if you will. And then the one on the right is a book, and then it's like a detective. The book on the left was The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Dark academia vibes. I've been intrigued by this for years now. I've heard so many people that love this book, like love this book. I put the secret emoji, obviously because Secret History, and then the cover of it is just like this like statue thing. I literally typed in statue for the emojis and it gave me that emojis. I feel like the writing is one that you have to be in the mood for, but I put it next to If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. I put it next to this one because I feel like every time I talk about these books, books, someone says they love this book and they didn't like this one, or they loved this book and they didn't love this one. So I don't know which one to go into because these are both dark academia vibes. This one I have no idea what it's about. I read the summary of this so many times and I still like don't completely understand. I feel like I just have to read it. This one I put the detective emoji in the book because obviously dark academia as well. This guy gets out of jail. He was one of like the Shakespearean actors, and then there's like a detective who wants to know the truth after the 10 years. So I put the detective emoji. I feel like these are so similar, so I have to read one or the other. And I really want to get to one of them this month. I've been so intrigued by them, but let's see. Wow! This one was a big percentage gap by a complete 50%. The one on the left got 25% and the one on the right got 75%, which was If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I've been gravitating towards this one more than The Secret History, honestly, and I feel like because I can understand the summary, and I don't know, I feel like the writing of this and the like TikToks I see of the annotations of this, it's one of those that I'm like so excited to get my pen out and my tab and really go in on a book. Like I feel like it's gonna be writing like that. So I'm really excited about this. I know it's like a mystery involved with like Shakespeare, dark academia, and those vibes are perfect for October, so I'm really excited about this. I know that this is like also a fan favorite, like if you love this you absolutely love it, so I'm definitely gonna keep this on my radar. But our winner is If We Were Villains, and I'm really excited about this one. The next one we have, one of them was a little bit obvious. I feel like the emojis I put for one of these is just like, it kind of gives it away, which honestly, that's kind of what I'm doing. I want you guys not to like completely guess what books are underneath, but kind of use little context clues to try to see what books are going to be options for the TBR. So the one on the left was a crown and a blood emoji, and the one on the right was kind of like the carousel, little horse, and a letter. The one on the left was a glass sword by Victoria Aveyard. Recently, you guys will see my wrap up, I read Red Queen by her, and this is the second one in the series. I think it's like a 5-book series or something like that. And I really enjoyed the first one, and I immediately bought this because before even reading that one, I think I started it and then went to Barnes because I heard the ending of it, like there was like a plot twist or just like a cliffhanger on the ending, so I immediately went to get this, and I just love the covers. I think they're so pretty. And then the one on the right with the little carousel, horse, and the letter was Legendary by by Stephanie Garber. I wanted to complete this trilogy before A Curse for True Love comes out at the end of October, but I just don't think that's happening. I do want to read this eventually anyway, and I wanted to put these two next to each other, one because they are fantasies, but also because they're both part of series that I would like to complete now. So this is the second one in the Carvel trilogy. The first one was just so fun, and I feel like these are perfect books for October and like this vibe. And obviously the carousel emoji because Carvel, and then the little letter because you get like a letter when legend chooses you to go to the carnival, whatever. And then I put the crown and blood for this because crown with literally blood on top. So I feel like I nailed the emojis for this one. But let's see which one won. I'm excited about this one. I wouldn't be mad about either one. I want to read both of them. Okay, this one was kind of close. The one on the left got 56%, one on the right got 44%. So that means that Glass Sword is our winner for the TBR. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not like the most excited to read this. I know I literally just said that I do want to read it, but I'm not like the most out of all the books that I want to read this month. To read this one, I do want to read it, but like I'm not like so excited to read it. But this is the book that you guys chose, the one that won, and we're gonna add this now to our TBR, and we're gonna say bye to Jax because I thought that he was introduced in the last book in the trilogy finale, but he's actually introduced in this one. So I love you, Jax, but I'm still gonna get a lot of him this month because of A Curse for True Love, so I'm fine. I'm okay over here. So the last one that I put up next to each other, if you haven't noticed or if you haven't watched any of the other TBR videos, I put like kind of genres next to each other, or books that I think should go head to head. Like I don't put like a romance with like a mystery book. Like I try to put them next to each other. So our next one is a romance book. I know we don't have too many romances going on here, but the next one is just pure romance. So the emoji on the left was a pregnant lady and a pink heart, and the one on the right was books, a heart, and some fall leaves. I kind of didn't want to put the pregnant lady emoji because I feel like if people saw that the book had something to do with like a surprise pregnancy or something, they wouldn't want to pick that one. I know that trope isn't like a fan fave for everyone, and personally not me either, so I didn't want to put that one because I didn't want it to hinder anyone from choosing it, but I had to. It's literally like the main, not the main part of the book, but like from what I know about the book, like that's the trope that's like involved. The book on the left was Out on the Limb, and I've had this downloaded on my Kindle for a while. I really want to read it. I feel like it'd be a good palette cleanser between all the fantasy books that I've been reading, but also every review I've seen, everyone I've heard talk about this book is like obsessed with it. They say it's so good. So I really want to read it, but I knew, or I don't know if it won, but I don't know. I have an inkling inside of me that people saw that emoji and didn't want to pick it. But one of the main tropes is a surprise pregnancy, so that's why that emoji is there. And then the one on the right is Maybe Meant to Be by K.L. Walther. I actually have not really seen many people talk about this, but I saw this in Barnes and I saw a few people post it, and I just love the cover so much. I needed it just because of the cover. The fall vibes on this book on the cover is just like absolutely amazing. It is just stunning, and I'm obsessed with all of her covers, and all of them next to each other are just so cute. Like it's just a perfect, like when you get a series or like books from the same author that just look good together, I love it so much. So I don't know really what this is like about. I think it's like a brothers, maybe the guy's brother she ends up with. There's a school setting, I could tell you that, and I could just tell you that it's giving fall vibes. That's why I really want to read this. Also because I enjoyed the other books I've read by this author, so let's see what won. Oh, I knew it. I feel so bad that I did this. I feel like I did Out on a Limb a disservice, but Out on a Limb got 24% and K.L. Walther book got 76%. So that's a huge percentage difference, and this is our winner. I do want to keep Out on a Limb on my radar and just have it downloaded still. I do have it downloaded still because I think if I'm ever in the mood for something like that, I'll read it. I'm never in the mood for a surprise pregnancy, but everyone's obsessed with it. So I think I need to read it eventually anyway. But this is what won. I'm pretty sure this takes place like at the school setting, and the main girl character, everyone thinks that she should be with this guy Charlie. His brother shows up on campus and she actually wants to be with him or something, but like everyone wants her with the other. I don't know. I think that's like the gist that I'm getting. I'm just excited though. I think it's gonna be a perfect fall vibe book, and I feel like her books are just so easy, fast-paced to read. They're kind of like a no brain power book, and sometimes you need that, especially between fantasy sci-fi books that I'm gonna be in the middle of and the dark academia one that's gonna take some brain power for me. This is gonna be a perfect mix. I know we only did 6 books this time on the TBR because I have a pretty, what's the word? Ambitious TBR for October. I'll give you a hint of what I want to read. Throne of Glass. I did say it. I think I'm gonna read the first one. I'm starting with Assassin's Blade next week, so I'm getting myself into another series. I do want to read new releases of Curse for True Love, Hopeless, and all these other books that are coming out, and I just have some series I want to continue reading, and there's some that I like know I'm gonna get to, so I didn't want to put too much on my radar for the TBR for this video because I didn't want to overwhelm myself this month. I feel there's a lot going on in the book world this month, a lot of new releases, so I'm definitely excited about this TBR. But again, I know there's not a lot on here, but just know that there's a lot other ones on my radar for this month, and all the videos I'm filming, there's other books included in that. I hope that makes sense. But here are the books that didn't win. Again, I maybe would read these this month. Like we've seen from last month, I didn't read all of the books that we chose. So who knows what I'll get up to this month. Some of these I'm like really want to read. So we'll see what happens. Now onto the books that did win for this month. We have Red Rising, Butcher and Blackbird, These Violent Delights, If We Were Villains, Glass Sword, and maybe Meant to Be. I feel like this is such a great range and honestly a great TBR. Like just looking at this, I'm excited. We have sci-fi, we have contemporary romances, dark academia, fantasies, serial killer rom-coms. Like what a great TBR for the spooky season. I think this is gonna be so good. So thank you guys so much if you guys voted on the stories. I'm gonna try to do this every month. You guys seem to really enjoy it. I enjoy doing it. I like picking out the books. I like putting the little emojis on. I like us all coming together and seeing which one won. With all that being said, again, thank you guys for participating. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you did. Let me know if you've read any of these books, if you're excited for me to read these books, what your TBR is. Just let me know. Don't forget, you guys can use my code in the description, 15% off water drop. That is so amazing. Get your water intake in, and yeah, I will see you hopefully in the next one. Bye.